All right, we've got one more topic around dates and times, and it's going to seem a little confusing up front. There is a whole other data type, very similar to datetime, called timestamp. So timestamps combine a date and a time. If we go to the docs and look at the page around timestamps, it basically looks just like a date time, which we've already seen. Take a look right here. It says the timestamp data type is used for values that contain both date and time. The date time type is used for values that contain both date and time. So what is the difference? There's really two pieces. One is that a timestamp takes up less storage. It's a smaller thing in memory, which is a trend for all these different types we've covered, right? Tiny int versus big int, or double versus float versus decimal. In this case, timestamps are smaller, but that's because they support a smaller range of dates, a much smaller range of dates. Look at the minimum, 1970, January 1st, 1970, and then the maximum is January 19th of 2038 at 3:14:07 seconds. Whereas a date time can go from the year 1000 up to the year 999,000. So that's an important difference. If we just think about what we might be storing, it might narrow down the type we would use. If we're storing somebody's birthday, well, a timestamp maybe doesn't make sense unless we know all of our users were born after 1970. We probably would want to use a date time. But if we were trying to store the time something was most recently updated at, or when a comment was created, or a user account was created, or somebody liked an Instagram post, or whatever, some sort of interaction, an event occurred, well, a timestamp will work just great for that, and it takes up less space. So it is confusing. There's no way around it. They look and behave the same most of the time. Let me show you an example of working with timestamps in the shell. We've got all these different functions that also work with timestamps. And technically, when we did now earlier, if I did select now, I said this is a date time. It's actually a timestamp, not a date time, but they are essentially interchangeable when we're working with a date time or timestamp that overlap in the same range, right? This is right now, today. If I express this as a date time or a timestamp, it will look exactly the same. So I can show you that. If I did timestamp, I can take this and turn it into a timestamp. We're not going to notice anything. It looks like a timestamp. We also have timestamp add, timestamp diff. We can do math with timestamps, but at the end of the day, it's just another format for storing a date with a time. We just have a much narrower range that we can store those dates for, but it comes at the benefit of taking up less memory. Confusing? Yes. Hopefully I clarified the difference. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can use timestamps and date time and get some auto updating functionality, some really fancy stuff when we create a table.